All right. So good day, kids. So this is a past paper question discussion session. So you have done this paper in our class, spending 2 hours back in couple of days. So what we are going to do is we will be discussing all the questions today, and we'll go through all the theory parts what we have learned over the past few months, and let's refresh our knowledge and we'll get prepared for the upcoming term tests. Alright, so I'm starting with question number 1. So we'll start with question number 1. So what is it asking? So it's asked us to select and underline the improper fractions from the following. So select and underline the improper fractions from the following. So when it comes to the lesson fractions, we have learnt about different types of fractions. So one of the type we have learnt is improper fractions. So kids, when it comes to fractions, so we have two parts in a fraction, right? So let me write an example. So when you consider the fraction 3/5, so this number 3, we calling it as the numerator of the fraction, right? This is the numerator of the fraction. So this number 5 is the denominator of the fraction. Number 5 is the denominator of the fraction, right? So we have two parts in a fraction, numerator and the denominator, right? Now in this example, the numerator value, the numerator value here, this number 3 is less than the denominator. So such kind of fractions, we are calling them as proper fractions. They are calling as proper fractions. Now when it comes to this example, what is it asks? So it's asked us to find out, basically underline improper fractions. So proper fractions, numerator is less than the denominator. So when it comes to improper fractions, the other way around, denominator is greater than the numerator. So denominator is greater than the numerator. So those are calling as, now for an example, if you write this number as 5/3, so this is calling as an improper fraction. This is calling as an improper fraction, right? The numerator value is greater than the denominator value. So what are the examples? What are the fractions you have as improper fractions in the question now? Here 2/3, it's a proper fraction. 7/5 is an improper fraction, right? What is this, Pute? What is this? These are, we are calling them as mixed numbers. We are calling them as mixed numbers. What is the reason for us to calling them as mixed numbers? Because in this particular part, in this particular number, we have a whole number and also a fraction part. So they are calling as mixed numbers. Alright, the next example, 5/4, an improper fraction. 2/5 is not an improper fraction, it's a proper fraction. So in this example, in this particular question, the answers, we have two answers. 7/5 is an improper fraction. The other one is 5/4 is an improper fraction. Correct? Right. Let's quickly move on to the next part. Simplify. So it's asked us to simplify. Right. 2 plus 4 into 2. 2 plus 4 into 2. So what are the mathematical operations you have in this question? We have addition and then we have multiplication, right? So when you're doing calculations using mathematical operations, there is a sequence, there is a way that you have to give the priority for the mathematical operations, right? So if you have addition and multiplication together, so what is the first mathematical operation that we need to do? Yes, so first we have to do the multiplication part, right? Here you go. So 2, let's not do anything for this addition symbol. 2 into 4 is 8. So finally, the only mathematical operation left in the question is an addition. So 2 plus 8 will gives you 10. Answer equals 10. Right, the next one. What do you think? What do you think? Right? Draw all the axes of symmetry of the figure. Draw all the axes of symmetry of the figure. Draw all the axes of symmetry. Okay? Right? So this is an axis of symmetry, one axis of symmetry. This is the other one, 2. If you fold in this particular way, I think it will get 1 on 1, will be getting coincide to one another, right? If you fold this particular figure, this whatever the shape in this particular way using this dotted line, this will also getting coincide to one another. So in total we have 4 axes of symmetry for this figure. In total we have 4 axes of symmetry for this figure. Alright? Is that clear? Benton. Yeah. I දාන්න බෑ හොඳේ. හරිද? මම හිතනවා හරි කියලා. මිස් වුණා නම් රෙකෝඩින් එක පොඩ්ඩක් you have to rewind it and see. Okay. Question number 5. Put a question number 5. Right. What is the question? Simplify. So we have 2a plus 3b and then minus a and then plus b. Shall we take the like terms together? 2a minus a. They are calling as like terms. Like terms. 2a minus a. Then plus 3b plus b. 2a minus a is a. 3b plus b is 4b. So the final answer is a plus, yes, final answer is a plus 4b. Okay, a plus 4b. Right. So we have completed the first 4 questions and I think we can move on to the next part, next couple of questions. Alright? Okay. Right. Then moving on, question number 5 and 6 and 7. All these questions are from different past papers, right? So all these questions are different past papers. But when it comes to your second term test for this year, right? The questions also more likely be the same kind of questions like this. Okay? So we need to prepare for these kind of questions for your exam. Definitely during your exams you will be finding out same kind of questions, so which will make easy for you to get good marks. Harida? Right. All right. Question number 5. Question number 5. Right. A is a set, right? Multiples from 1 to 10. A is a set that represents multiples from 1 to 10, right? So what is a set? What is a set? Set is in a simplest way a group. Set is simplest way a group which you can clearly identify. If there is a group that you can clearly identify, right, it is calling as a set. Now for an example, right, if I say boys in grade 7 class, so what do you think? Can we clearly identify boys in grade 7 class? Is there anyone who is having doubt about it, right? No, right? We can clearly identify who are the boys in grade 7 class. Right. For an example, let's say multiples of 5 between, let's say, 0 to 25. Multiples of 5 from 0 to 25. So what are the multiples of 5? 5, 10, 15, 20. Up until 25 now. So we will not get in 25. So answer is 5 and 10 and 15 and 20, multiples of 5, right? Another example, districts of Western Province. Can we clearly identify districts of Western Province? Yes, right? Colombo, Kalutara, and Gampa, right? So those things we can clearly identify, right? The months of the year, right? Days of the week, right? These things we can clearly identify, right? If I ask you a question like this, what do you think? Right. Example. Good boys in grade 7. Honda lamai, honda pirimi lamai, natang good students in grade 7. Honda daruwo. Ehama puluwanda. Hamoma hondai kiyala hitenawane. Right? Fair students in grade 7. Pahapat lamai. Hari. Tall students in grade 7. Right? Can we clearly identify them? Let's say that there are three friends. There are three friends. Me? Api meyata damu Nimal kiyala. So this is Nimal. Hari? Then let's say we have Kamal. Nimal. This is Kamal. Can you all see the screen? Yes, right? Nimal and Kamal. And this one, this bugger, the name of this person is Vimal. Right? Now if you only consider Nimal and Kamal, right? And if you ask who is the tall person, Kamal is the tall person. Now when you consider Kamal and let's say Vimal, now who is the tall person? Vimal is the tall person. Right? So it depends, right? So you can't say tall student in grade 7. It is not a set because we can't clearly identify them. If you only consider Nimal and Kamal, Kamal is the tall person. Kamal and Vimal, Vimal is the tall person. Right? So I hope that I'm clear. Is that clear? Right? A set is basically a group that we can clearly identify. Right? Set is a group that we can clearly identify. Harida? Maru edanne mata une par. Hari. Set is a group which you can clearly identify. Right, Pute. The multiples of 2 from 1 to 10. Is that a set? Multiples of 2 from 1 to 10. Multiples of 2 from 1 to 10. Is that a set? Yes, it is. So what are the things, what are the numbers you can consider as multiples of 10 from 1 to 2? From 1 to 2, what are the multiples you have? What are the multiples you have from 1 to 2? 1 to 10. Multiples of 2 from 1 to 10. Right. May balan. 2 is a multiple of 10. 4 is a multiple of 10. 6 is a multiple of 10. 8 is a multiple of 10. So we are talking about numbers up until 10. Therefore 10 is also a multiple of 10. When you writing, these are calling as whatever the things included in a set, we are calling them as elements. So these are the elements of this set. So when you writing a set, you need to make sure that you are writing whatever the things included in the set, in other words elements. Elements should be written inside a pair of curly brackets. Elements should be written inside a pair of curly brackets. Now in order to separate two elements in a set, what we have to do is we have to put a comma mark. So let's name this set as set A. A is, right? A is a set. The elements of the set is, there are 5 elements for this set. So what are the elements? 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Is that clear? Is that clear? Alright. Okay. Right? So this is a method to write the elements of a set. Right? Okay. Hari. So we have written the set A as list of elements within curly brackets. Pute, there are different types that we can use. in order to represent a set. One method is by listing down all the elements. Another method is using a Venn diagram. The other method is, right, we can describe the set. So we can say it's a descriptive method. So there are three methods, right? When it comes to the lesson sets, right, you should be able to know there are three methods that you can represent a set. Alright, that's enough. Okay, moving on. Kids, ABCD is a trapezium. ABCD is a trapezium, right? Mark the pair of parallel sides. Mark the pair of parallel sides of this figure using symbols. These two are the pair of parallel sides. So in this trapezium, AB and CD are the two sides which can be considered as parallel lines. Is that clear? Yes? Am I clear enough? Yes? So are we all clear up until these 6 questions? Okay. Kids, moving on. So we have given some numbers 8 and 12 and 24. 8, 12, 24. So 8 equals 2 into 2 into 2. 2 times 2 times 2 gives you 8. Right? So 12 equals 2 into 2 into 3. 12 equals 2 into 2 into 3. The other one 24 equals 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. Asking us find the least common multiple. Right. So what is the easiest method? Mebalan. There are few methods. There are three. Yes. How many methods to find out the least common multiple? Different methods, right? There are different types of methods, right? Hari. Mebalannako. Hari. Let me circle out the common values. This number 2 is common for all these three numbers. Do we have common numbers like that again? Do we have common values like this again? Yes or no? What do you think? Common values? Yes. This number 2 is also a common value. What else? Do we have another the common values which is common for all these three? No. Right. Then we have to circle out whatever the numbers which is only common for 2. This number 3 is common for these two. 12 and 24. When it comes to this number 2, again common for these two numbers. So we have to consider all these numbers. Now when it comes to this number 2, you are not considering 2 for 3 times, you are only considering this number 2 for once, 2. This number 2 again for once, 2. This number 2 again for once, right? We are not considering this 2 into 2 kila ganna, 2, and then we have to consider this number 3, right? So let's multiply 2 and 2 and 2 and 3 together. So what is the answer? 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 into 3 is 24. Put the least common multiple, LCM of these three numbers, LCM of these three numbers, yes, LCM of these three numbers, come on, equals to 24. Completed 7 questions for the moment. Completed 7 questions for the moment. Alright? Okay. Let's move on. Right. Question number 8, 9 and 10. Question number 8, 9 and 10. Right. Kavisha's date of birth is 8th April 2009. Kavisha's date of birth is 8th April 2009. Amisha is younger than her. Amisha is younger than her. In a duck. Amisha is younger than her. Right. Amisha is younger than her by 4 years, 3 months and 9 days. Now who is the older one? Who is the older one? Is Kavisha or is that Amisha? Amisha is younger. Kavisha is older. Kavisha's date of birth is the 8th of April 2009. So Amisha is younger than her. So this should be Amisha. So this is Amisha and this is Kavisha. Now who is the elder one? Elder one is Kavisha. Harida? Right. Find Amisha's date of birth. Pute. Now Kavisha's date of birth is 8th April 2009. 8th April 2009. Now Amisha is 4 years and 3 months and 9 days younger to her. Harida? එතකොට මොකද කරන්නේ? Are we adding them together or are we taking the difference between these two numbers? So this is the birthday of Kavisha. So Amisha should be, right? She should be born after Kavisha, right? So if you subtract this 4 years, you will get something like 2005. So if Amisha born on 2005, is she younger than Kavisha? No, no, no. So what we have to do is you have to add these two numbers, the times together. So 9 plus 8, very easy question this time for us, 17. 4 plus 3 is 7 again. So 9 plus 4 is 13. So 2013. So Amisha is younger, right? Her birthday is 17th of July 2013. Her birthday is 17th of July 2013. Is that correct? Name the angle marked in the diagram. Pute. Right. So this is the angle marked in the diagram. This kind of an angle is calling as a reflex angle. This is a reflex angle. Right. This kind of an angle is calling as a reflex angle. Now when you consider the other angle, what is the name of this angle? So there are different types of angles, no? So what kind of an angle is this? This is an acute angle. This is an acute angle. Okay? Reflex angle, and this is an acute angle. Alright, different types of angles. Right, moving on. Area of the rectangle given below is A. The area of this rectangle is A. Area of this rectangle is A. Build up a simple formula for the area A in terms of X and Y. Pute, this is a rectangle. This one we can consider as the breadth of the rectangle. This is the length of the rectangle. So how are we going to find out the area of a rectangle? May area of a rectangle. Area equals length into breadth. The product of length and breadth gives you the area of the rectangle. The product of length and breadth gives you the area of the rectangle. So length is given as y in this question. Breadth is given as x in this question. So normally when we writing algebraic terms, it is not mandatory, but normally we are writing them in alphabetic order. So you have x before y. So how are we going to write it? Let's eliminate writing this multiplication symbol as well. Answer is xy. Answer is xy. Okay. Answer is xy. Right. Completed the first 10 questions. Are we all clear enough? Yes. Is that clear enough? Right. Shall we move on? Let's move on. Let's move on. Right, kids, moving on. Right. Question number 11. So there are questions, Pute, you need to remember we have not covered all the lessons which is relevant to second term test for the moment. We are still doing there are some more lessons to be completed, but when it comes to this paper discussion, right, I will not consider most of the questions which is in this paper are from the lessons which we have already covered. So there can be one two questions which are from the lessons which we have not done yet, right? So don't worry about the lessons which we have not done yet. Let's just try to understand the theories behind them. So if you can't understand properly, so when it comes to the lesson discussion, we will thoroughly go into the details again, and we'll describe all these theories again. All right? Okay. But most of the questions, right? Most of the questions are from the lessons which we have covered for the moment. Okay. Right. Write 4/25 as a decimal number. Write 4/25 as a decimal number. Right. There are two methods. The simplest way, I guess, is this. Now this fraction, can you write this fraction as a fraction which the denominator equals to 100? Can you give a try? Write this fraction as a fraction again using equivalent fractions theories. Write this fraction again as a fraction where the denominator equals to 100. A fraction where the denominator equals to 100. Simply what we have to do is, yes, multiplying both numerator and the denominator by 4. So you are multiplying 4 by 4 and then you are multiplying 25 by 4. 4 into 4, 16. 25 into 4 is 100. This fraction, very easy for us to convert it into a decimal number. Answer is 0.16. Answer is 0.16. Correct? Is that correct? Right? So let's do the answering for this question like that. Okay. Right. Moving question number 12. Right. 2 into 2 into P into P into P. Write that in index notation. Okay. Pute, me balanna. 2 into 2. How to write this using index notation? This number 2 multiplied again and again for 2 times. So that is 2 into 2. P into P into P. The algebraic term P multiplied for 3 times. So P into P into P. So if you want, you can eliminate writing this multiplication symbol. So 2 to the power 2, P to the power 3 is the final answer. 2 to the power 2, P to the power 3 is the final answer. Alright kids, are we all clear? Next one, 13. Question number 13. Okay. Shooting Martin cartoon starts at 3:45 p.m. and ends at, now there's a printing mistake. Let's write it as 4:40 p.m. Shooting Martin cartoon starts at 3:45 p.m. and ends at 4:40 p.m. Find the telecast time duration of the cartoon. Find the telecast time duration of the cartoon. Right? So there are two methods. To get the answer. So ending time of the cartoon is 4:40. Starting time is 3:45. So we have to take the difference between these two times. Pute. Different methods to get the answers. Right. May balanna. So you can't subtract 45 from this number 40. So we have to borrow 1 hour from hours column. So 1 hour is equals to 1 hour is equals to, yes, 60 minutes. 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. Alright, 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. Harida, 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. Right. So once you bring 1 hour to here, it will become 60 minutes. So 60, and there is already 40 minutes in the minutes column. So 60 plus 40 is equals to 100. Now you have to subtract 45 from this 100. Put a 400 minus 45 equals 55. The number you have in here now is 3, because we brought 1 hour to the minutes column. So now we only have 3 hours in the hours column. So 3 minus 3, here the answer is 0. So what is the telecast time? This 55 is minutes. This 55 is minutes. So what is the telecast time of this cartoon? What is the telecast time of this cartoon? Right? So the telecast time of the cartoon is, yes, 55 minutes. Telecast time of the cartoon is 55 minutes. Got it? Clear? Nice. Name a pair of parallel lines, next question, in the figure. So we know what parallel lines are. May CD is parallel with AB. So we can say AB and CD, a pair of parallel lines. What is the other one? AB, this one, and BC. So AD line segment and BC line segment, AD line segment and BC line segment parallel again. These two parallel again. Hada පැහැදිලිද කතාව? Parallel හොඳේ. Okay, parallel. Right? All right. That is question number 14. That is question number 14. Moving on. Yang ඉස්සරහට. Right. 15. Shall we do this question number 15? Write down below masses. Write down below masses in ascending order. Write down below masses in ascending order. Right, Pute, we have 10 grams, then the other one is 100 milligrams, the other one is 1 kilogram, right? So the relationship between different units which is using to measure mass, right? The relationship between different units using to measure mass. May balannako matakada? Matakaida. So 1 gram is 1000 milligrams. 1 gram is 1000 milligrams. Harida? 1 gram is 1000 milligrams. Then what? 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. 1 kilogram is 1000 grams. 1 gram is 1000 milligrams. Hari? Alright. Okay? Right, kids. So, what is the smallest unit? Smallest, not unit, smallest value. Yes. The smallest value is 100 milligrams. So, 100 milligrams is the smallest value. Right? Next one. 10 grams is the next value. 10 grams. Next one, 1 kilogram is the largest value. So we have written these values in ascending order. So we have written these values in ascending order. පැහැදිලිද? Is that clear? Yes. All right. Okay. Moving on. Next question, please. Question number 16. If x equals to 3, find the value of 2x minus 1. If x equals 3, find the value of 2x minus 1. So 2x minus 1 is an algebraic expression. The mathematical operation in between 2 and x is multiplication. So 2x means 2 times x. 2 times, this time value of x is 3. So 2 into 3 minus 1. 2 times 3, 6. Minus 1 equals 5. Alright. Moving on. Hari? Okay. Question number 17. Question number 17. Question number 17. Find the value 162.4. You have to divide it by 4. 162.4. Let's divide it by 4. So how are we going to divide it? Yes. 162.4. Let's divide it by 4. පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න මගා ගන්න පොඩ්ඩක් වෙලාවලේ මගලා ඉවර වෙලාවද පොඩ්ඩ ඉන්න 162.4 divide by 4. So 162.4. You are dividing it by 4. Bedamu. 16. 4 into 4 gives you 16. Remainder is 0. Let's bring this 2. 2 divided by 4 is 0. 0 times 4 is 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. Now, the most important thing here is, let's put a decimal point here and let's bring this number 4 to here. So once you bring this number 4 to here, the number will become 24. 24 divided by 4, 6 times 4, 24 equals 0. So what is the answer? 40.6. 40.6. 40.6. Right? Clear? Yes? Nice. Hurry. That is 17. That is 17. Right. Moving. 18 and 19 and 20. 18 and 19 and 20. Right. Let's do these questions quickly. Right. Kids, what type of an angle is this angle? Let's say we have an angle. Puta. Let's say we have an angle. Right? Like this. Pute. The magnitude of the angle is 135 degrees. There is an angle like this. Magnitude of the angle is 135 degrees. Magnitude of the angle is 135 degrees. Harga, magnitude of the angle is 100. What kind of an angle is this? Ayyo, we found this kind of a question earlier as well. Me babagi nama. This is calling as an obtuse. angle. We found earlier there was a question, reflex angle was there, and I told you about, we discussed about an acute angle as well. So this is the third type of an angle, obtuse angle. What is the other two angles? Straight angle and the right angle. Straight angle and the right angle. Alright? Right. Express 1¼ as an improper fraction. Express 1¼ as an improper fraction. Komada, what is the easiest method? We have done these kind of questions. We have done a lot of these kind of questions during our classes. Yes? Hurry. So what is happening? The thing you have to remember is we do not do any change for the denominator. Let's keep it as it is. We have to keep the denominator as it is without doing anything. Right. Now what happens to the numerator? The denominator value is multiplying with the whole number. So 4 you are multiplying with 1. And for the answer you are adding the numerator. And for the answer you are adding the numerator. 4 into 1 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So 5 divided by 4. This mixed number, we converted it into an improper fraction. Mixed number, we converted it into an improper fraction. Clear? Right. 125 is written in index notation form as. Hurry. Let's think a little. Let's think a little. And then let's write this in terms of an index number. Let's write this as an index number. Let's write this as an index number. Karanna puluwanda? Yes. Right, puthe. 125 is divisible by 5. If you divide 125 by 5, the answer is 25. 25 again divisible by 5. Answer is 5. 5 divided by 5, answer is 1. So 125 equals 5 into 5 into 5. So 5 into 5 is 25. 25 into 5 is 125. So using index notation, we can write 125 equals 5 to the power 3. 125 equals 5 to the power 3. Right. So with this question, right, we come to the end of this particular session. We have completed discussing 20 past paper questions, and in the same paper we have the second question papers as well, second part papers questions as well. So we will be discussing those as well in another separate day. So for the moment, for the day today, we will conclude the session from here onwards, right? So in the coming weeks, most important thing is, now there are a couple of, I think we have 4-5 weeks prior to your second term test, second term examination. So we will be continue doing past papers, we will be continuing doing model papers, and we'll be getting prepared for your term tests. So you can join with us, right? You can do all these questions with us, and you can get good marks for your term test. Alright? Okay, see you once again in another session, and until then, goodbye.